Hi, welcome to day 24. I'm in the same outfit that I was in for day 22 because I'm trying to do a bunch of days. Okay, so you're going to practice with awareness. We're going to add one more pose, and you're listening to your body. You're making sure that you're moving with awareness. Your breath is leading your practice, all of that good stuff. You are being kind to yourself. So that means not pushing yourself beyond what you're capable of today. Okay, today specifically. In the moment, actually, even more than today. In the moment. All right, so let's start. We're going to line our back. We'll switch it up. We're going to line our back and allowing the body to just rest. I'm going to keep my legs up, maybe walk my feet wide and let my knees rest against each other. Or you decide to position the body in a way that's appropriate. If you want to stretch your legs out in the front, if you prefer to stay seated, then do that. Allow your body to rest. Your face is soft, corners of your mouth turn up. And you just notice, there's my breath. I'm watching it move into my body and out of my body. Remind yourself that you are not your thoughts. You are consciousness. And you get to place your attention where you want it. So don't let your thoughts drag you around. Instead, come back to how the breath is moving into your body, out of your body. Throughout this practice, come back and come back and come back, and give your mind a little bit of a break from all of that activity. Practice being kind to yourself. Give yourself the gift of your own attention, your own kind attention. And then I'm going to allow my breath to move in maybe a bit bigger, just gradually. Inhale and really take a big breath in. I'm going to stretch my arms above my head. I'm going to stretch my legs out in front. I'm going to arch my back up a bit. Really breathing in, stretching, stretching. And then letting the breath out. And then I'm going to take my feet back in. And I'm going to do like a version of cat and dog, but I'm going to stay on the floor. So I can't really arch up into that really scared cat position, but I'm going to use the floor as feedback for really creating an open front body and maybe a longer back body. So I'll take my arms out to the side so maybe you can see my back waist a little bit better. Okay, then we're going to take a full breath in. And I'm going to arch my back, so I'm just coming forward, arching my back. Lifting my front ribs. I'm going to exhale and I'm going to draw my navel to my back waist and give a little tuck of the chin. I'm going to inhale and exhale. Inhale and just focus on opening the front of the body. And exhale. Flattening navel to back waist. Inhale. And exhale. So you're allowing your breath to lead the movement, just like you would in cat-cow. We'll come on back to a neutral place. And I actually missed the twist, so we're going to go into it right now. So we're going to just lower the legs to one side and then come to the center. Lower the legs to the other side and come to the center. And then I'm going to lower my legs to one side. I'm going to turn my head to the other side. And then I'm going to do the same thing the other way. Legs come to the center. Lower them to one side. My head moves the other way. Look, that's so good. Come to the center and the legs fall. It's like you allow them to be received by gravity. And I do the same with the head. It's like I'm initiating the movement and then I just kind of sort of drop into gravity. So I come to the center and I initiate that movement, and then the weight of my body sort of pulls me into the shape. So back to the center. I'll take my knees in. Maybe I'll rock a little side to side. And then inhale, forehead to knees. Exhale, come on up to a seated position. I'm going to come over onto hands and knees. I'm going to push the floor away with my hands. Push the floor away with the tops of the feet. Curling my toes under, I'm going to move this into a downward dog. So the last session, we were really quiet in downward dog. Let's explore downward dog now. I'm going to inhale and roll up onto the balls of my feet. I'm going to exhale and descend the heels, but keeping the sit bones lifting up, pushing off the hands, maybe reaching the crown to that space on the floor between my hands. So I'm going to inhale and lift up. I'm lifting those sit bones up. Exhale, I'm going to descend the heels. I'm going to try one more like that. And lower. I'm going to just sort of walk my feet in. Bending my knees, arms are heavy, head is heavy. I'm just going to roll up to a standing position. Palms look forward. Head rises up. I'm allowing myself to adjust. I'll maybe just take an extra breath here. Good inhale, take my arms up. Good exhale, and take my arms down. I'm going to turn and face forward. I'm going to come into the tree. I'm going to come into one foot and lift the other leg. It can be above the knee, below the knee. Arms lift up. That's it. And I'm going to breathe here. Standing leg knee is headed in the direction of that foot, same direction. It's not sort of like looking towards the midline. And your lifted leg, your bent leg, that knee wants to look out to the side. But sometimes if we try to let that lifted leg lead, it sort of drags the standing leg knee to sort of look over to one side too. I'm going to take the arms down, and the leg down. Take a full breath in. And I'm just going to do it on the other side. Rising up. So easy breaths into your body, out of your body. And a full breath here. We'll lower the arms down and the foot comes down. So we're going to step out into our warrior one. And let's try warrior one with maybe just like a small stride. So maybe you might be used to like a longer stride, kind of like that. Maybe really long so you can really come down. But instead, let's try it like short. And how does that sort of change it for you? We're going to square the hips. They're headed forward. I'm going to push off my back foot. I'm going to bend my front knee. I'm finding the full sole of my front foot and the back foot. I'm really aware of it. And then I'm going to lift up. And I'm going to make this as dynamic as possible by finding the foundation. Feet on the floor. I'm growing up from the foundation. I'm breathing this shape, longer, broader. I'm going to lower this. I'm going to turn this around so I have a similar stride. Shorter. My hips are going to face forward. Inhale, take the arms up. I'm going to exhale. I'm going to push off my back foot. I'm going to let my front knee head the direction of my front foot. I'm really feeling the soles of my feet. I'm going to grow up, up, up out of the sides of the waist. Arms are awake and active. Hands are alive. And then I breathe this shape alive. I expand my belly and side ribs and upper chest. Maybe I sink. And then the hands can lower. So that might a nice way to work with your warrior one, you start with this like small stride and then make it grow out a bit bigger. You can do the same with your warrior two. So little ways that you can play around. A home practice is so beautiful when you just get to explore. And you just think, what if I did this? What if I tried it this way? What's different if I do it like this and then like this? So let's find our warrior two now. I'm facing forward. I'm going to push off. Actually, you know what? We'll do this one with a little bit of a smaller stride as well. So I'm staying in the center. I'm not going to, if I'm thinking my pelvic floor is light, I'm going to keep it shining down instead of coming into letting it shine at my back leg. Okay? So you can sort of see the pelvic structure. I'm going to come into my shape here. I'm not coming here. The bent leg, that knee is headed in the direction of that foot. It's not coming forward. So sometimes in a warrior two, I'll just do it this way so you can see. This is what lots of bodies want to do. As the front knee comes forward, the bum kind of comes back like that. So just see what you can do to keep it. So that the legs are powerful. It's almost like you're ripping your mat apart. The arms are awake. You're spreading out through the front of the chest. You're exhaling and you're just sinking into this shape. Just like that. Maybe you turn and you have a look out over one hand. You can keep palms turned up, you can turn the lower arms and palms down. I'm going to take this in, and I'm just going to shift it the other way, just finding my warrior two the other way. You might start with palms up like you did on the other side. And then palms down, where you're not rolling the shoulders forward or collapsing the front of the chest. And you can gaze out over that hand, same side as the bent leg. And let's take this in, and we'll pop the legs in, and we'll just come into the reed. I'm going to exhale over to one side, but I'm going to inhale to the center. I'm going to exhale to the other side, or inhale and then exhale to the other side. Okay, so inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, one more time each side. This is a nice one to do up against the wall if you have the right space. I don't really, not to show anyway. Arms come down. We can inhale and take our shoulders up. And just drop them. All right, then we'll come into goddess pose. We're gonna turn the feet out to the side. We're gonna let the knees head in the same direction of the feet. Maybe you need to adjust your feet to make that true for you. I'm gonna take my arms up, spread my fingers apart, and exhale and sink into the shape. Let's inhale and push it up. And then I'll exhale and I'll sink into the shape. I'm thinking about coming evenly left and right side. Can inhale it up. I'm coming up evenly left and right side as much as I can manage. I'm really feeling my feet on the floor, feeling the soles of the feet on the floor. I'm aware of my hands open, awake, alive, sinking the hips down, tucking the elbows in, and rising up. I'm going to step to the back of my mat. I'm going to lower down, crawling out, trying to stay in the frame. And I'll inhale, trying to keep the front body strong and the back body long. If this is too much for you, actually I didn't show this in the last one, you could push into the tops of the feet and still push the floor away. Of course, you could be working in the regular version too. Okay, full breath here. We're gonna exhale, we're gonna lower this. You can inhale, open the chest. Push into the tops of the feet, engage the knee to the front thighs, the legs are leaving the floor. But I'm opening up, tugging the hands back, tucking the elbows in. Maybe I move into Sphinx, so I showed that last time. Or maybe I lower. Crown of the head reaches forward. I'm just shuffling back so I'm in the screen. And then the legs can lift. Hands tuck back, elbows tuck in. And this is our new pose. I didn't have a good lead up to that. Ta-da-ta-da! This is our new pose, locust. Feel the breath move into this shape. Rest down, let's stack our hands, rest our forehead. Maybe the big toes touch and the heels fall away from each other. Just rest. And then I'm going to take my hands under my shoulders. I'm going to push the floor away. I'm going to come up. And maybe actually, you know what? I'll curl my toes under like that and then I'm going to sit back on my heels. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to stretch out my feet. Hold it facing forward. And for some of you, closing the space behind your knees just won't be suitable. So you're just going to come into a different position. If your feet are really tight, maybe you can't stay here the whole time, but you can try and then take weight off and then you come back and stretch out the feet. But if you need to modify, modify, just like anything you can modify. But come into this shape if you can and find your breath. Relax your face and the base of your skull and your shoulders. Remind yourself of that friendliness you can direct inward, maybe with a soft smile. Take your hands up to your center chest and decide that today you're going to act kindly towards yourself as a way to fill your well so that it overflows and it's easier to be more kind to others and to bring kindness into the world. Okay, so that's the end of today's practice. I will post again in 2 days. Bye.